2.
Kenneth Mosley backstage at MegaFest 2015 in Dallas, Texas. What an electrifying service. For those of you who were able to see some of what Bishop Jakes was speaking about, I am here with news commentator, TV personality, Roland Martin. How are you this evening, sir?
All good. Glad to be here, but always back home in Texas.
Yes, yes, indeed. Now, tell us what brought you to MegaFest today.
Well, actually, I'll be doing a session on Friday, so looking forward to that. And also, we're shooting some stuff for my TV One show, and so made it clear that I certainly wanted to come through. I wish I could stay for the whole weekend, but I got to get back to host my show.
Absolutely. Now, tell us what you experienced there in the service this evening with Bishop Jakes speaking.
Well, I think, well, first of all, I'm always taking copious notes, and so the 21st century version of note-taking is actually tweeting.
Yes, we always follow you there.
I think that what really jumped out is the understanding of what is a want and what is a need. And I think for a lot of folks, we get confused in terms of how we must rely on God and not rely on our own devices. And so I think when he emphasized that, see, a lot, again, we get confused where we think a want is a need, but a need is really what is a core for us, so something we cannot do without. And so that was really strong, because when I talk to a lot of married couples, when I talk to people who are looking to go on a new job and different things on those lines, I often say is, what do you want? More importantly, what is it that you need? What is it exactly that you know that I cannot have a relationship without this? I cannot can't go on a job without needing this. And so that's really, I think, what's critically important. What is my want versus what is my need?
Tell me what you think is so great, or what is it about Bishop Jakes speaking that draws this many people? We have people from every state and literally around the world.
Well, it's interesting. First of all, I think one of the things that people get confused when it comes to preachers is that everybody has a unique gift. There's some people who can preach, some who can teach, some who can sing. There are some people who are masters when it comes to Bible study. There are others who have a different gift, whether it's education ministry. My wife is an education minister who has been ordained for 22 years. And so the important thing is with Bishop Jakes is having the clarity to be able to speak to people in a way that is not what some might say hooping and hollering, but really is a mix of preaching and teaching. And again, that's a part of one's gift, yes. The ability to be able to preach and teach within the exact same sermon. And so I really think that that's what it boils down to, because again, you can always test somebody when you say, folks will say, well, man, that was a great sermon. But then the second question is, well, what did they say? Did you remember the thesis? Did you remember the scripture? Did you remember really the points that were made? Again, there are some people, they can preach, but then 10 minutes later, you don't remember anything that they preached. Yes. And so I think that's what the difference is.
Okay, now tell us about the session that you will be facilitating and speaking at. What should we expect?
Talking about reality shows, docuseries, and talking about the importance of it. I mean, we're living now in an age where content is king, and so whether or not it's on cable television broadcast, now of course with streaming services, there's an insatiable desire for the public for different types of content. And so how do you maintain the integrity of your content that is still affirming and that is still positive in nature?
Finally, what is important for people of faith in terms of an event like this? How can this affect people of faith?
Well, I think the first thing is that there are some people who view their faith as a part of who they are, and some view it as the essence of who they are. And so the beauty of the event is that it deals with the reality of a Christian in the 21st century. And that is, no one goes to church every day. Folks go to movies, they go out to eat, they actually watch television, they go to comedy shows. And so having an event that encompasses the total person, I think, is what's critically important. I think a lot of times we lose sight of that. And so there are a lot of ministerial conferences, there are church conferences, but it's different when you say, no, let's speak to all of a person and not just a part of a person.
And bring your family as well.
Right. But again, no, but that still goes to it, because there's some places you can go to as an individual, you can go to as a couple, as opposed to you can come as a family. And so you have things for everybody. And what should happen when someone leaves here, they should think about that and take that exact same concept back. How do you create instances at home where you're dealing with the whole person, where you are working and fellowshipping with Christians beyond just the church walls?
Absolutely. Backstage here with Roland Martin, MegaFest 2015, Dallas, Texas.